I don't know how it started. I don't know what you did. Now I'm the gal that's chasing you up and flip my lid. Come here, eager beaver, baby.
Hello and welcome to
Was That an Orgy? Woo!
starring Charlene and Teresa Bod, two sisters that explore the topics of sex, sexuality, gender, and sex positivity. We will also try to answer the question, was that an orgy?
We're live.
What? We're live. I'm still sending a
Live
work
from
text.
Newport.
New-
It's fantasy goodbye land. Yeah.
Oh, God.
I came up with that this weekend. I for my dear friend, I won't say his name because I don't want to ruin anyone else's reputation by knowing me. He got married this last weekend, and he was kind and stupid enough to have me in his groom's party. So I got to wear. Couldn't wear that suit that I wore last week because I
Oh.
tried to dye the white suit. Remember how I was dressed like Mr. Dork from Fantasy Island last week?
Yeah.
And I tried to dye it, but it turned out acid washed. And even though there was a
Oh,
part of me that was
no.
like, "Yeah, wear an acid wash suit in the wedding party," I thought better, and
That's a good idea.
so I
Yeah.
wore my blue velvet. Looks kind of like a Charlie's Angels leisure suit.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
it wasn't too bad.
Where'd you find
I thought
that?
it.
That sounds pretty cool.
Glamazon.
Oh
I
my
thought it looked
God.
a little bit too much like pajamas at first. So that's why I
Oh.
got the other suit. But you know what?
Oh,
Fuck
good.
it.
Yeah.
You know, there were people that weren't even following the color code. So right now I'm looking through my phone. We're both like so, you know, we look so rude right now. But really what I'm trying
We
to
don't
do.
talk to each other anymore.
We just
We're
don't
both-
talk anymore. We're in bed on our
You
phones,
don't
texting each other.
send me
Yeah.
flowers.
So I'm trying to find good pictures of let's see. Oh, I know what I'll do. I'm going to first text you, Michael, and then just pick out a bunch of pictures. And while you're in there, you can pick your favorite pictures, because I thought it'd be fun if we showed people my new character, Dick Old Man Balls. Dick
Yeah.
Old Man Balls in action. Dick Old Man Balls. What's your first name? Dick. What's your last name? Old Man Balls. Yeah. So I thought it would be fun to show people Dick Old Man Balls, because so Thursday night was my friend's bachelor party, and at very first I thought like there was me and our bass player Stacy were the only two women invited, and I thought like, should I go? Should I just let the boys have their party? I'm about to send you a shit ton of Dick Old Man Balls. I even have some Dick Old Man Balls going potty, standing up and sitting down. That'll
Oh my
be
God,
fun.
that's amazing.
And then let's see. So I thought, yeah, I called Stacy. She said she was going. So I thought, all right, it's going to be a couple of bitches there.
Yeah.
And then, so I thought, okay, well, I'll dress in drag. I'll go as Dick Old Man Balls. And then
Perfect.
that would justify my going.
Right.
And so that was a shit ton of fun. And then what I did was, so I had fun being Dick Old Man Balls and, you know, talking about like, where the strippers, where the bitches, you know,
Yeah.
and stayed in character, much to probably everyone's annoyance,
No.
and proceeded to drink like all my bros were doing. Okay, I'm going to send maybe 2 pictures of me on the toilet. Okay, there's this one. Oh, and then that's a good one. I'll send a few of those. So then at some point, we had, I can tell you his first name, I think. I had Jason go out. He went out to the back fire pit, and then all the people left inside. I was like, okay, you guys got to help me out. I brought my prune tang costume, and I'm going to give him a lap dance. So I got them to put him in an Adirondack chair that has like arms on it. And then because I wanted to be able to, you remember the cougar shark, how I would jump on the arms of people's chairs in the
Yeah.
audience
Oh,
and then
yeah,
give them a little
totally.
face fuck.
Yeah.
And so,
That's good shit.
yeah. And I thought for sure, he's got to know this is coming up for sure. And then,
oh my God.
so are you looking for the cliff notes to Polysecure?
Yeah, but keep talking.
That's
fine.
somewhere on my computer. I have her slideshow, her, what do you call it? The, you know, the thing, the point word.
I'll find
PowerPoint. Ding,
Yeah.
ding, ding, ding. Michael for the win.
It's from email, right?
I believe so. Did
Okay.
I share it with you? Because I can look in my computer and that way you
Okay.
can. But anyway.
Oh shoot. Okay. Yeah, if you can send it to me, that'd be awesome.
This is
because
our distraction episode.
we're squirreling out today. So the problem is I had this whole thing. I took really awesome notes and then I left them at home.
Now, if I wasn't too busy partying my piss flaps off all weekend, I would have been a better communicator and we would have known that like I already have PowerPoint. Whoops, my bad.
Yeah. So you were at the wedding.
Yeah, so I was at the wedding and then let's see, this is called Poly Secure.
And I was in Puerto Vallarta.
Puerto Vallarta.
With a couple of people.
Yeah. Is Poly Secure one word or two?
One word.
Okay. I'm still looking for it. What's would you guys know the author's name? That'll help me find
Jessica Fern.
Jessica Fern. Okay, let's see what comes up.
Anyway, very fun time in Puerto Vallarta.
Oh, good.
Very warm. And they had just some interesting bars we went to there. We went to the Zona Romantica, which is a very gay and friendly part of town. There is a CC Slaughters there.
CC Slaughters?
Just like here in Portland.
That's my favorite.
With a really cute drag show.
Hey, Michael, I've got an idea. It's our sexy nerd, Michael. I have it up on my screen. Can you just grab it and like you do it? Do it self.
Well, I want to read it too.
All right.
Sorry.
Maybe share it with Michael because then we can share it with everybody.
Yeah.
You can get in. You scared to get in the shot?
Here. I'm turning it down. I mean, I
love it when you say sexy nerd things. It's so hot. Yeah. So. Do you? I was just. She seemed like she was on a mission, had a plan. I think it'd be great. It'd be great to share.
Yeah.
I don't know what the author thinks.
I guess the only question is,
the author?
Did she give it to you privately, or I have no idea the context?
I think that I asked for it, as I do. I was asking for it.
You were so asking for it.
After you go through that, we can look at the email. Whatever. Right. I'd say use it for yourself. And we'll put it up at the end.
I'm just going to save it as a PDF for myself.
There you go. So anyway, you went to Mexico. It was in a gay-friendly district.
Yeah, or that's where we went out one night. And I was going to say it was really interesting because like there aren't a whole lot of gay women represented in that area. And I was like, well, is there an equivalent area for women? And we didn't see one. So it was like strange to be in a gay part of town and have people staring at you because you're two women holding hands. And I'm like,
isn't this the gay district?
This was okay here.
Yeah. Isn't this where the tortillas get together?
I thought maybe.
Didn't our Cuban friend tell us that lesbian in Cuba was tortilla? They called them tortillas? I
don't remember that.
I thought that's what she said because I remembered thinking like, I mean, maybe it was some abstraction of that, but it kind of makes sense. We call them tacos, tortillas, whatever. You put the tortillas together with the cheese and melted, you know. So,
oh my God. So wait, do you
bring on the hate mail?
you gotta tell me what the shoot you've got. Tell me the rest of the story.
Yeah.
Old man. Oh my God, these pictures are amazing.
Aren't they amazing? Okay, so I told everyone I came as Dick Old Man Balls. So then, Jason gets out back in the Adirondack. And then I told like all the guys at the party, I was like, very subtly go outside. Don't make it obvious. And cue up the song. I forget what it's really called, but it's the one that goes, my neck, my back. Lick my pussy and my crack.
Yeah.
Lick it now. Lick it good. Suck this pussy just like you should right now. So then I get the walker. I got this awesome walker on wheels, which some friend out there donated in my driveway. I put the APB out on Facebook one day. Like, I need a new prune tang walker. I keep loaning them out to friends that are injured not getting them back. So that one showed up and it's like the fucking Cadillac. The stretch limo of walkers. It's got the seat that folds up and the little brakes. And so I wheeled that back and I went and put on my adult diaper and this great costume that says it's like a Hooters costume. And it's got these pendulous breasts that hang out from underneath the bottom of the shirt. And instead of Hooters, it says Droopers.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And then, so the one thing, if we play it, if anyone's listening, I mean, they'd still hear the uproarious laughter. I could say what's happening, sort of like, doing sign language for the deaf, or I'm telling people that are blind, like, all right, now I'm pulling off my shorts and showing my adult diaper with I had the bearded clam cod piece over the adult diaper. And so, anyway, like I pulled off the big old, fuck it. Why don't you play the video?
Yeah.
If
Let's
people
start with the video while we figure this stuff out.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I think you just got to bag this. Just use the notes.
That's what you know what? I just forwarded the email to myself.
Okay, good.
Yeah, that was driving me crazy.
Okay, he's queuing up the video now. Oh, it is? Can you bring up this screen so I can see it? No? So, well, basically, if you're not watching, you should. Just when you get home, if you're driving in your car, watch the video.
Oh, yeah.
And I tapped him on the shoulder, and he turned around and he looked up and saw it was me, and he was like, oh no, like, because him and Prune go way back. He's my ex, so I used to like get up on top of him, surprise him in bed dressed as Prune and start going like, oh yeah, baby, you want this big old droopy clam, just terrorizing him. So anyways, so right, and this is where I started teabagging him. I had a foot on each chair of the Adirondack chair.
And those shoes are one of the best parts of the whole album.
Those are my rave shoes from my early 20s. Remember when me and Kimberly were raving? So right here, I was teabagging him with the clam, which lasted way too long. And he's a good sport, as you can see. I thought about even opening a can of tuna and just to make it make it look
so
grossed out. Yeah. And then see, they have the bearded clam cod piece on with the Elmo eyes. I cut those off of an Elmo doll. And so I called this Muppet Tickle Me Smellmo. Now then I turned upside down in the chair and put the bearded clam cod piece like right up in his face and made him shuck that clam real good. Oh yeah, shuck it, baby. Shuck it now. Shuck it good. Shuck that clam just like you should. Right now. Shuck it good. Look at his face. He looks terrified. He's like, no, it's scratch and sniff, Big Daddy.
Oh my God.
And here, look at my hair's burning. You can see my hair start to burn up against the fire. So I had to have some my firemen come in with their big hoses and put out my fire.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. So then at this point, like the song ends. And so I try to do some album cover pictures here. You're missing out.
I know. Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, album cover pictures, where I'm looking like, the rock star always has the like doting women, at his feet. And then they started playing, what was the next one? The Get Your Freak On. And I was trying to get everyone else to come up and give them a lap dance. Mm-hmm. But I think that they were just more into it being a spectator sport. So then I just started going again. And and granted, this is 1 a.m, and this none of this was planned. So there's a lot of repeats in my moves. But then this one was new. Noticed the leg. I was like, oh no, I think I got some moves here.
I got a move I can do.
Yeah. So then there's the head motorboat, top down motorboat. Mm-hmm. and then I was like, wait a minute, we got to get Tickle Me Smellmo in this picture. So then I whipped that out, and so I'm teabagging him with Tickle Me Smellmo. I actually named her.
Oh my God, that's real. That's a great picture.
That's a good one, right?
Yeah.
I actually first named her Clam Lydia I thought, because like, remember how when I lost my virginity, I got chlamydia.
Yeah, chlamydia.
Chlamydia. Yep. She likes to give public cervix announcements so that you can keep your cooter pie nice and clean, free of disease. Yep. So then I told him I was giving him a skid mark all the way down his body here. And yep, made him take the titty one last time, for prosperity. Yeah. And then after this, so I started asking for bills because I was like, a stripper doesn't work for free. So I started doing lap dances around the circle. I made $7 whole. That's the most I've ever made stripping.
Oh.
And then
our friend Chris loves this.
Yeah. So then we actually shut it down, like the way it's dangling there.
Yeah.
This is where I started doing lap dances. Oh, and then right after this guy busts in the backyard and he's like, shut the fuck up. You fuckers are always doing this. Shut the fuck up. And then I said, sir, you could have just asked nicely, in my prune tang thing. And he's like, or you guys should just shut the fuck up. And then I, it was like power struggle. So then I started saying, or just ask nicely, and then my friend walks up to him and, like it incited his testosterone and he walks up and he's like, you want to dance? And everyone's like, no, let's not.
No
fight.
dancing.
Yeah. And then he said, oh yeah, this is Dick Old Man Balls. This is when I got to the party.
I love
and
him.
Yeah. And started, sexually harassing Stacy. I made her sexually harass me, but as you can see, I stuffed my pants.
Those are some big balls.
Yeah,
and things.
that's it. That is beyond a moose knuckle. That might be like a rhino knuckle, a hippo knuckle.
Oh yeah, boy.
Something like
that's
that.
Serious.
Yeah, or a mastodon knuckle. Yeah, good times, right? And here I was talking about the strippers, where the strippers with the big bazoombas,
and then in came Prune Tang.
And yeah, she's got some big bazoombas. Whoa!
Oh my god!
So yeah, good time. And I don't care if you show the ones of me on the toilet. I thought those were some good times. So first I whipped it out. That's a marble toilet seat, by the way. That's not diarrhea all over the toilet seat.
Oh my god! Yeah,
it looks
does
bad.
Look a little like diarrhea.
Yeah, it's actually not even marble. It's a kitten. When you shut the lid, it's actually a kitten with its paws up. It's really cute.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was me trying. I don't know, like maybe it's my blood thinner medication. I couldn't pee until I did this. And I was like, just sat down. I'm really peeing there, actually. And here I'm being an active listener because everyone was talking about stocks and trading and cryptocurrency. And I'm all about money because I'm Dick Old Man Balls.
Oh,
so
my God.
Anyway, that was the time of my life. I'm still recovering from it. Yep.
All right, Dick Old Man Ball. So you're still tired.
Yeah.
Like you have a hangover from like 3 days.
Well, what happened was then, so end of the first night, then there was someone there that was like, we were flirting.
Mm-hmm.
So then I ended up like staying the night, and it was just all like, oh, let's just share the bed, that kind of thing. And that lasted till the morning. And then it was like, Dick Old Man Balls, he got his, let's just say that. and then, but it was very interesting because like, I've, in my life, I feel like I've picked, really sensitive, sweet people.
Mm-hmm.
And one day I was even talking with Michael, we were talking about sex and somehow Talking Dirty came up and I mentioned that like, no one's ever talked dirty to me before. And Michael was like, what? No one's ever talked dirty to you before?
Yeah.
And then, and for whatever reason, no one I've ever slept with was like into dirty talk. And I don't think that I've ever been with someone who's like really got like a dom in them.
Mm-hmm.
But this guy was like really dom.
Oh, wow. Fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was like, wow.
Yeah.
This is going to get
love
interesting. I know.
Do you think that maybe one of the reasons that no one's ever really talked dirty to you is that it would be like someone like asking Michael Jordan to shoot some hoops? Like they'd just be like, dude, you are the most raunchy, filthy human ever. Why should I even try to talk dirty with you? They'd be like, I am so outmatched.
Yeah. Out of my league. Don't try and take the crown from, the queen of the latrine.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. It could be, but, I still think that it's just sort of like, everyone I've ever chosen to be with, they seem to be happy enough just with just having authentic sweet sex. And that's great. I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
But there was a little part of me that was like, I want to experience some kink. Why won't anyone ever,
Why won't you be dirty with me?
why won't anyone ever degrade me and choke me and spank me? What's wrong with me? So why won't anyone ever hate fuck me?
Well, I'm sure someone has. They just didn't tell you.
Exactly. They were faking their orgasms just to get it over with.
Like,
right.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. So this guy was a real, like, legitimate dom.
Wow.
And I'd never been with like a dom before. And I was so impressed. Like, you guys, in my opinion, there's something so hot about first asking for consent. It's so empowering. It's so respectful. And so what I liked about this, sort of unfolding of being blossoming of the flower was, first, he was very respectful about boundaries, and then asking for consent for everything, from the first touch to everything, going like, may I do this to you? And then, like, once things were being done more, then it's like, I want to do this to you, that evolution. And then you're going to take this, I'm going to do this to you. And what was good about that was, like, if you follow those steps, I feel like it kind of earns trust. I would never want anyone to come right out and just be like, dom me from the, get-go, come right out of the gates, like, grab your hair, I'm going to do this to you. Because then, it doesn't sort of build that sense of safety. Like, I'm safe with you.
Yeah.
You see me, you care about my feelings. I'm empowered in this process.
Yeah. Right.
So that evolution of asking, then expressing your wants, and then, being total dom.
Yeah.
Very well done, sir. If you're out there. Very well. You know who you are. Yes. Very well done. So that's why I'm exhausted, as that was, I don't know whether to call it Thursday night or Friday morning. I guess it's more Friday morning. Now I see how, a JBF my hair is when I look at the monitor. And then it was just Friday night. We all went to Friday night was the rehearsal dinner.
Oh yeah.
Then it was went to the Dom Dome, got dommed, some domdom. And then so it's just been like night after night of burning the midnight oil and then burning my fire crotch to cinders. And I'll just tell it like it is. Like, it was like today at 3:23 laying around, he's like, we got time, one more. And I'm like, no, I really shouldn't. All right, let's do it. So this is Hair by JBF today. Yeah. Woo! I was making up for lost time. I know. Making up for lost goddamn time.
See, this is what happened in Portland. The masks came off and all of a sudden you're fucking again. It's like the mask was like it was prevention. It was preventing you from having any social intercourse.
Yeah, there you go. Well said. And the lips remind people that we have lips.
That's right.
We got 2 sets.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep,
oh, and lipstick is back.
Lipstick's back. It's true.
Yeah. Like people are going to be selling and buying lipstick.
Oh my God.
Again.
I got to tell you the funniest thing too. After I think I had morning sex and walked out to the kitchen where my roommate was. And she looked at me and she goes, Teresa, you look like you've been sucking cock under an overpass. Because I had the big lipstick ring, looks like you've been blowing a clown, all the way around my mouth. And I was like, well, that's very close to reality, actually.
Except for the overpass.
Unless you want to call it that. I've been called worse.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Yeah. She's funny. I sent Michael another picture because yesterday when I was running around with Dom, Mr. Dom, she was having a hard day. And so I tried to help her out. I went to Dick's and got her a burger. I call her Hori. I guess I shouldn't say what her real name is, but it sounds a lot like Hori.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I ordered her food to go and got her some kitty litter. That's what we call it. And then, so I just love that when they said like, oh, what's the name for the burger bag, your order? And I said, Hori. So you can bring up the picture if you want to. At Dick's, they actually have a sticker on the bag that says so-and-so's bag of dicks. And so she handed me this bag that said like Hori's bag of dicks. And I was like, this is the best advertising ever. Like way to monopolize on the whole bag of dicks thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to.
There it is.
Oh,
Hori's bag of dicks.
I love that.
Yeah. And it even looks like a turd next to the word dicks. I don't know what that's about, but
I think a flame.
Maybe it's a flame. Good. Yeah, it's probably not a turd. You're right.
Yeah, it's probably a flame broiled.
Hori's bag of dicks.
A flame broiled
shit.
Dick.
Yeah, exactly.
Eat a shit. Oh,
yeah. Right. So that's a lot. I have given you my weekend in a nutsack.
Wow.
I mean, there's a lot more gratuitous detail I could go into because wow, when you finally get domed for the first time,
it's quite a thing, isn't it?
Yeah, quite a mind-opening, leg-opening experience. I'm a fan.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. It is. It's really interesting because you don't know if you're going to like it or not. And I think before I ever did it, I was like, no way. I'm not going to like this. Someone's going to pretend.
You gotta respect.
Yeah, someone's going to pretend to be in charge of me, but I am way too formidable for anyone to actually dom me. And then I was like, yeah, this is pretty awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. And just like they say, like there was a movie or a documentary that I watched about this world famous dom in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
And she took you into her lair and there were a lot of clients that allowed themselves to be videoed, but they had like maybe a GIMP mask on, they changed their voices, and most of them were like really high power, like CEOs and rich dick old man balls in New York City.
Yeah.
And they had so much responsibility in their lives that I think it gave them relief to be domed, to be dominated.
Yeah.
And in that being dominated, and again, you can only imagine that it gets exhausting, everyone like kowtowing to you and kissing your ass when most people inside are pretty unhealed and they have a sense of shame and imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
So maybe, someone just being like, on your knees, Schweinstücke, lick my boots, lick this toilet, you scum. There's a little bit of like, finally someone sees me,
You see me for the pig I am.
For the Schweinstücke, I really am. Thank you, Fraulein.
Yeah.
Thank you, mistress.
I think that could be part of it. Yeah, it's just like, I want to not make decisions. I need to not be in charge of the situation.
Yeah.
Could definitely be a thing. And there's also like degradation, I think, can kind of be its own kink that has, not less to do with like your day-to-day thing, but it is probably like playing on some internal stuff that happens, I'm not going to try and figure it out because I don't know, but but it's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Pretty fun stuff. Like if you have a good partner for it and everybody's safe and
you got your safe word.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. At this point, my safe word is just safe word.
Yeah.
That's it.
Mine's Cloaca. Because nobody hears that and keeps going.
There's no confusion about that. Chicken pussy,
Chicken pussy. Which
if you guys don't know out there, that's what a cloaca is. I call it the wonder hole.
Yeah.
Because it shits, pisses, lays eggs. Wow.
It's everything.
Chicken pussy's
Chickens
amazing.
have them. Sharks have them. I think a lot of birds
alligators have them.
Yeah.
Lizards.
Well, there's even a movie where vampires have them.
A cloaca?
Yeah.
I love it.
The weirdest movie. I don't remember the name of it, but it's just like this weird movie where it's basically like this alien thing takes over their body and basically takes over the whole internal system. So it's from their mouth down to a cloaca. Like just this weird tube, vampire tube.
The feeding
not
tube.
Sexy vampires, not romantic at all.
Well, and you know that the Little Mermaid had a cloaca.
She was
fish from the bottom, from tits down. That's all fish. So cloaca.
What up?
Let's give it up for the cloacas.
So she pooped out her vajayjay all the time.
Yeah. So
all right.
Anyway.
So we were going to talk about hearts. Hearts.
I thought we were talking about cloacas. All right, hearts.
Attachment.
Yeah.
Attachment tonight.
Mhm.
So because I was kind of rereading that part of the book, because so basically one idea is in attachment to have secure attachment, to use the acronym HEARTS. So it's you're here, and for your first heart has to be for yourself. Your HeartOn has to be for yourself primarily. So you have to make sure that you're doing the attachment with yourself. So your heart's for yourself, and then for other people. So yeah, okay, we have it up on screen
That's
here.
a nice picture.
Yeah,
Look at those handsome, beautiful humans. They're very handsome.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So this is an acronym for creating a secure attachment with your partner.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
And
school me, sister. School me.
Yeah. And it was just so good. I can't believe I forgot my notes, but basically I was on the plane reading, for 4 hours, just kind of going through it again and just scribbling notes frantically, because it is such important stuff. So the first thing is that you're here. You're here for yourself.
I'm here.
Yeah, you're here, and being here for your partners or partner. And so kind of the first thing to ask yourself is, what does being here look like for myself? What does it, what are the things that I need to do for myself that I, that make me feel like I'm present?
Yeah.
And then like with a partner, you'd be like, so what are the things I can do that make you feel like I'm really here? So there are obvious things, like don't do what you and I were both doing at the beginning of the show, where we're both like turned away from each other on different devices. So that's
unless you're into that.
Yeah. I mean that can be a form of
some people,
I guess.
Yeah.
No, but what do you need to feel like I'm here? And I think it's great, and everybody needs to realize that there's also another side to it, where it's like, so if you have a partner who never checks their phone, when they're not with you and they take a long time to respond, realize that that's because they're not checking their phone with whomever they're with at that time.
Yeah.
So it's like,
you've been talking to my exes again, haven't you?
No. What? No.
Because that's everyone's biggest complaint about me is like, I'm present with you when I'm with you, and I forget to check my phone.
So yeah, but it would be great if the universe like kind of was centered around one singular person, and then they could have you checking their messages alone and nobody else's. But the thing is, if you enjoy that intensity of connection, you have to realize that the other side of it is, oh, when I send you a message, you don't just like check your phone all the time. You're going to there's going to be a delay.
Yeah.
And that's great, because that means you're really here. You're very present.
Yeah.
Part of that being here thing can be, oh man, it's really important to me that you respond to my messages within X period of time. But I think you also have to be realistic about what that means. And that there are some times that that's not going to happen.
Right. And, if you want that to happen, don't get with an ADD person.
Yeah,
that's my other advice. Yeah. I could say like, oh yeah, I'm going to do that. And the best I could do is just intend and really try.
Yeah. Right.
Because that's just part of my neurodiversity is like, squirrel.
Yeah.
So,
and then I'm putting the squirrel down for a long time.
Yeah.
So that's really the first one, is to give someone your presence, your whole presence. And if you find that you're coming to, let's say you have a date with someone and you're just so distracted, call it out. Say, God, I'm sorry. I'm really I'm going through this thing. It happened earlier. I'm still feeling a little bit frazzled from it. Are you okay if we talk about it for a minute? And then I promise I'll be more present after that. But at this point, I feel like my energy is kind of all over the place, and I just need to settle in for a minute.
Right.
And so at least you're acknowledging, hey, I'm not here. This isn't the crap quality of attention I want to give you all night. But at this point, I'm having a problem.
Yeah, there's an elephant in the living room of your brain, and it just helps to be able to get it, let her rip, and then you can get on with, expel the invisible fart elephant in your psychic blowhole.
Oh,
yeah,
they're just so cute.
They're cute.
Okay, then the next one is express delight.
Yeah.
And that so an interesting thing for me was to do the practice of, well, what does express delight about myself look like?
Mm-hmm.
And so I kind of practiced a little bit of it, just going like, wow, I really like how I do this one thing or that one thing or gosh, I sure do feel good today, or I'm so proud of myself for working out, or whatever. Express delight for
Mm-hmm.
yourself. Whatever you need to do to be kind to yourself, and to delight in yourself as a person.
Mm.
And then what does it look like when someone expresses delight in you?
Yeah.
So, oh my God, I'm so proud of you for doing this, or oh, that prune tang dance was so funny, or that kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's another great thing to talk about with your partner, or any partner, even friends.
Yeah.
Like what how do you feel like I delight in you? Is there anything I can do to show you my delight more? Because obviously I'm delighted by you. I choose
Mm-hmm.
to spend time with you. So do you
Yeah.
feel like you delight me? Because you do.
Yeah.
And
I
then
get that. Is part of that kind of like asking for, like I was talking with Dr. Dom about the love languages and how
Mhm.
everyone has all the love languages for the
Yeah.
most part. There's
Right.
freaky exceptions. But in words of affirmation, it's getting the clarity of like, well, what kinds of words of affirmation? For some
Yeah.
people, it's like, oh my God, your mind, you are so intelligent.
Mhm.
And for some people, it's look at these tits,
Yeah. Right.
or I could get more lewd, but I'll leave it there. But
Yeah.
so yeah,
True.
figuring out what kind of love language they have,
Yeah.
what dialect they speak.
Yeah. And what would they most like you to acknowledge in them?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
God, I
What
feel
do they
like
want you to value?
yeah. Yeah. I really feel like people don't see how sensitive I am or how in touch or whatever. And like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
that's the button we need to press.
Yeah.
Attunement. So, are we, am I feeling the right kind of there for you? Am I, am I here for you during your experiences? Am
Mm-hmm.
I, am I feeling and looking empathetic when you're talking, stuff like that?
Yeah.
And then how do you attune with yourself? God, I wish I had my notes for that one, because that was a really good one.
That's okay. Stop looking. We wasted
Okay.
enough time on
Shit.
the show with that.
Okay. Damn it.
Yeah, I get it. Like attunement, and that could be different for everybody as well. Like how they like to be attuned with.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah,
that
exactly.
can express itself in different ways, and people feel attuned in different ways. Like
Mhm.
some people might want to meditate together.
Mhm.
Like I dated someone who really felt
Yeah.
loved it when I meditated with him.
Oh,
And for someone else, I don't know.
could be a
Innumerable options.
yeah, could be cuddling or just sitting side by side or
Mm-hmm.
sipping coffee.
I'm a big eye contact person.
Mhm.
Like I remember in eye contact exercises that I took in that class called Compassion in Action, where you learn to sit bedside with dying people. We
Mm.
did an exercise, and I'd never done it before, where you split the class in half and you all stand across from each other,
Yeah.
hold each other's hands, and just look in each other's eyes.
Yeah.
I have never been such a falling apart hot mess in my
Yeah.
life. Just
Yeah.
going from person to person and looking in their eyes
Yeah.
was so profoundly touching to me.
It is.
Yeah, so
It makes
that's
a lot of
that's
people
mine.
cry.
Yeah.
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 It is. It's really it's hard. It's a hard thing to do, and to maintain it for even 30 seconds. Like,
Mhm.
you think, "Oh, 30 seconds, no big deal." Whoa, try and
Mhm.
do eye contact for 30 seconds solid.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
I've also been I saw something, that, one of my friends posted recently that was like, actually pulling away eye contact is another form of kind of drawing a boundary and being like, "Okay, I'm good,"
Let's attune this way.
Yeah, yeah, let's
Yeah.
see. I feel satisfied with the amount of eye contact I've had, and now I'm gonna pull my gaze away for a minute and then do something else, and then I'll come back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I think that there are some people. I remember when I was first going through massage school, and there were those people that some of them would go in because they, even though the healing arts is really supposed to be like checking the ego.
Mhm.
Some people would go in because they wanted to be the healer,
Oh,
the wise one.
yes.
Especially I noticed this with dudes, the guys that would go in and be like, I'm real spiritual, ladies,
Yeah.
I'm going to align your chakras with my dick. And
That's a long dick.
Yeah, right. Exactly. His magic wand of healing. So then, but I remember that like sometimes there were these people that were trying so hard to be spiritual that like I felt like I was being eye raped. I was like, can
Yeah.
you blink or something, or can we just
Yeah.
look away for a second?
Yeah.
There's a sensitivity to perceiving what someone else needs.
Mhm.
And I even I'll tell you a micro story in the micro nutsack. I heard of like
Micro nutsack.
Yeah, a story of like someone who went to go see like this guru,
Mhm.
and the guru, one of those like super spiritual people showed up with their eye raping gaze, and then like so the guru meets the guy, hippie guy, and then like at some point the guru says to the people, he goes, "What is up with this guy? Like blink or something, like staring at me,
Oh my god.
Yeah, and then everyone fell out laughing because even the guru was like, "Dude, take a chill pill, all
Yeah.
right?"
Look away for
Yeah.
crying out loud.
Quit eye raping.
Yeah. Well, it makes you wonder like what they're thinking, and like I get freaked out by people who don't have any sort of pupil response in response to yours, because I can kind of feel like, yeah, my pupils are probably getting bigger because I think this person's hot or whatever, or I love them in a different way or something like that.
Yeah.
And then there are pupils like, and I don't know sometimes if it's because they are on some sort of amphetamine or something
I have
like
beady
that.
pupils though. Sure, you've got big butthole pupils.
I know I do.
Yours really dilate. They've always been like that. I noticed that.
But it's weird because like even someone with smaller pupils will dilate a little bit
it's
in
true.
response. Like,
It's true.
but it's just like when it's this thing, it's like staring at a snake's eyes. They're like, their pupils don't respond at all to yours, and then they just won't look away. It's like, God, what are you thinking about swallowing me whole? Gross. I'm not
You wish.
Yeah.
Yeah. I digress
Yeah.
as I do. That's my role here.
Okay, so we hit the H, the E, the A. Now we need to hit R, which is rituals and routines.
Okay.
And so this is a little bit about, I think a ritual and routine is one good way to sort of like get into attunement with your partner. So something that can head you into it. This can be something that, let's say if you're polyamorous, a ritual, you could have a ritual or routine around, I'm leaving for a date and I'm leaving my nesting partner. What's a kind of a goodbye exercise we can do? Like you could be like, oh, maybe we have a cocktail together and we just talk about like, oh, I'll be back by this time and da 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 da. And then then there can be a connection ritual or routine kind of with your new partner you're going to see. And then there can be a goodbye ritual for them, and then a hello ritual for your nesting partner again, where you say, oh, it's important. And sometimes the ritual might be, yeah, I need you to take a shower and then you're going to sleep in the other bed tonight. They can be, rituals can be anything, but to really honor the rituals and routines that you have.
Yeah.
With your partner and then also with yourself. So one thing that that Jessica Fern says about the R part of it is, and I thought this is awesome, you can figure out to do routines for yourself, figure out what you would like to incorporate into your life for routines, is write down a perfect day. What does your perfect day look like? And then try to incorporate one thing and make that a ritual. And then maybe you'll get around to doing another one. Yeah. So it's like, if my perfect day includes a pedicure, maybe I buy a pumice stone and I kind of like, work on my feet every day or something like that.
I like that. And that reminds me. So I've been taking a meetup class by this woman who she makes self-care journals, and she's trying to get into like really being some kind of a coach for people to design their lives. A lot of people are taking the classes that are like midlife in a transition, and they want to redesign their new life, the second half of their lives.
Yeah.
And one of the things she did is she had us do this exercise where we talked about we wrote down all the things that make us feel good, all the self-care things, so that we have a list of self-care, and then another list of, like, what you notice happens to you when you're off, when you get thrown off, when you're ungrounded, when you need to do self-care.
Yeah.
What are the things you notice that happen to you or in your relationships? So notice, the symptoms, and start to even notice the triggers, but then have that list of self-care that you can go to, because I find it most challenging to think of self-care once I am having symptoms of being lost and ungrounded and overwhelmed.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then it just seems like an inconvenience. You're like,
Yeah.
yeah, right. Like I have time to do that.
Right.
Are you kidding me?
Or I'm too sort of like, depressed and distracted. So then I just go, have another celibate Sunday. Oh, wish it was a 3-way. Oh, or some BDSM play. But yeah, so something besides ice cream for your ass scream. Yeah.
Yeah. And that is, definitely a very important thing, is like, if you can not make it around food or alcohol, that's a good choice.
Right.
Like, it is, I mean, unless it's around mealtime. So having one ritual or routine that could be great is like, I love having my dinner with my family, or I like to eat at this time with this person, or whatever. Like, that's a nice routine. Just don't make it around a particular food or alcoholic beverage.
Damn it.
I mean, it's a good rule of
I'm just
thumb.
joking. It is. You want to not numb the feelings. You want to take care of the feelings.
Yeah.
Take care of the precious one.
Let them out.
Yeah.
Let them out in and let them out. This one's a huge one. The T in heart is turning toward each other after conflict.
Yes.
This takes 100%. One person cannot resolve a conflict alone. Even if they're the one who did the bad thing or screwed up or whatever. Repair is so important in relationships.
Yes.
And with yourself.
Right.
I screw up. It is so hard to be like, oh God, I screwed up. And to not feel shame, but to feel like regret about it. To go, God, geez, I really wish I had said something different.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Yeah.
And not be like, cause I'm an idiot, cause I'm, this, that, cause that's getting into shame, and that's really not productive.
Right.
So you have to be able to forgive yourself, turn toward yourself during, for repair work. And that will also help you turn toward others to do repair work. And one of the things is, if someone does screw up, let's say they crossed a boundary and they hurt you super bad, at some point you have to decide to let them do the repair work. You can't be a punisher. A punisher will never get through the conflict.
I'm so glad you said that, because I was about to like stick out my hand and go like, ooh, can I give one more guru quote? But it's not a guru. It was like I read a book by a recovering Catholic who joined a Buddhist monastery for a while. And like he did something, and like the monk corrected him, and he went into self-flagellation. And then the monk turned to him and he said, there's nothing enlightened about abusing yourself.
Yeah.
The only thing to do is to feel that moment of consciousness, that lets you know like, ooh, that was a better way of doing something. And that doesn't really resonate with me. But the shame is self-abuse. And so the other part of it too is there's nothing enlightened about flagellating other people and being punishing.
Right.
I think that's something we learn from the Judeo-Christian, religious sort of undercurrent, where we use shame to manipulate other people. So don't fucking do that.
Yeah, don't do it.
Don't punish other people.
Yeah, exactly. And really like speak from your heart after conflict, and say, yeah, that was really painful. but don't get into the space of, and now I have to make you feel pain.
Yeah.
And-
now you have to work to earn my
Yeah,
love back.
yeah.
I'm going to be withdrawn and you grovel for it, you son of a bitch. Yeah. Yeah. That kind of game playing.
Yeah.
I mean, in the end, it might make you feel more powerful if you get them to grovel, but you know, you're setting up some real toxic game playing.
Yeah.
It'll be turned on you one day, maybe.
Right.
And deep down, you're breaking rapport and trust instead of building it.
Yeah. Yep. Totally. Yeah. And it's hard because each attachment style is going to feel differently about conflict and react differently. And then how others react to you is going to be dependent on how you react and stuff like that. So if you do the thing where let's say during conflict, you feel like, oh, I need to, pull way away. I need to distance myself from you as much as possible. Then there's pretty good chance that that's going to make them feel insecure. And then they're going to be like, but then they're going to like need more from you, which is probably going to annoy you, and you're going to want more distance, and they're going to want more closeness.
Right.
And so it's like, the more you can just arrive at a conflict and you can even acknowledge what your attachment style is at its worst, okay, so when I'm really feeling insecure, I do this thing. And first of all, know it for yourself. You don't have to acknowledge it out loud if you don't want to, but know that there are certain behaviors that come along with that. And even if you're feeling the feelings, you don't have to do the behaviors. You have control over your behavior. So it's like you can say, oh, I'm feeling like I want to be avoidant, but then not avoid the person. And it's going to feel uncomfortable, and it's not going to be satisfying, and it's going to be like, oh God, this isn't how I wanted it to go. But it's in the end, if your primary concern is for relationship repair, which hopefully it is, then that's the right thing to do, is to say, hey, yeah, I'm feeling insecure, or I'm feeling avoidant, or I'm feeling, whatever.
Or I need to go calm down. I need to go breathe deeply.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a perfectly acceptable thing to do, by the way. And most people that you're in conflict with that are worth having a relationship with are going to go, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Like I'm feeling a little hot under the collar too. Let's take a few hours, or let's come back in 12 hours.
Yeah.
But you have to respect that time.
Yeah.
You have to, agree on how much time it's going to be until you come back, and not have this become a thing where it's like, I'm still just really too mad at you. Because then that's punishing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Passive aggressive punishing. I had a partner that did that.
Yeah.
Where it was like he would say he needed to go calm down.
Yeah.
But then he would never come back.
Right.
And it's like, if you really love the person you're with and you don't want them to become more insecure in their attachment style, then get over yourself and do what you say you're going to do and come back.
Yeah.
Even if you feel mad. I was just talking with Dr. Dom today. Let me see how much time I have to go off.
Dr.
Dom today. I imagine all of a sudden that like a weird talk show, but Dr. Dom, talking to Dr. Dom. And he was talking about how, like, he sort of described that men's tempers can be more like a rubber band, and women's can be more like, God, now I can't remember, something stretching, a vagina. No, I'm just joking. A balloon. And so I remembered, I read something about the difference between, men and women's brains are different. Our hormones are different. And that supposedly, I think maybe it's testosterone related, that when a man, when we go into fight or flight, when adrenaline enters the bloodstream, the frontal lobe shuts down. And that, men, because they're designed to be the hunters and gatherers, when they go into fight or flight, when the adrenaline goes in their system, they're not only does their frontal lobe shut down, but that the adrenaline prepares their body to fight or take down an animal. So they literally get physically agitated. And I remember watching an ex of mine who used to pump his fist, and I used to think it was intimidating, but now I understand that it was like his body was agitated, and that they literally need to go away and calm down and let that feelings subside, let the blood return to the opening up the frontal cortex.
Yeah.
But that women, having more estrogen, which is more the community related thing, that we have an easier time with not going, war, fight or flight, even if our words are, violent, not nonviolent.
Yeah.
But that we come back to being able to forgive and make up much more easily. That's part of the estrogen thing. So we want the repair and no, stay here, let's work this out kind of a thing.
Right.
But it's really great for men. If you want that repair, to encourage them, support them in going away. And then, like I was just talking with Dr. Don, but bring up the time that you're going to come back and you better do it. That's the important, unless you want to continue wounding each other.
Yes, exactly. So
yeah.
important. And that I have noticed that too, being in conflict sometimes with men and some women, like their hands will shake. And that's sort of, that's
totally.
That's that you're getting a surge through your body. And,
fight or flight,
I've felt it in myself as well, for sure, where I'm like, my hands are shaking and I'm like, all right, it's probably time to stop talking now because
I remember even your jaw shaking once.
Yeah.
I was telling you some terrible news and it was like your jaw was going.
Oh, I remember that terrible news.
It was like this, Char.
Well, I'm like, I want to murder.
Yeah. And I was scared. I was like, oh God, she's going to kill me. And then luckily I was telling you news about someone else and you were like, I'm so pissed off. I want to kill him. And I was like, I'm so glad you didn't say killed me.
No, of course not.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I only have one sister.
Yeah. You can have many husbands, many lovers,
but one sister.
Yes. One inbred sister.
That's right. Same inbred
and you do have a lot of testosterone, I think.
I do. So yeah, it's true.
That's probably why, you go into like full face seizure.
I can do like
yeah. Yeah. So
God.
did you get through the last one?
I did. Turning towards after conflict and really, some of the things like punishing is one of the things that's a good indicator that a relationship is not going to survive, by the way. So if you feel like someone who wants to punish your partner for things, just know that you might be helping to put another nail in the coffin of your relationship.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's fine. Like that might be what you want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's true.
Sometimes you don't want to work things out. Sometimes you're just done.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all righty too.
I've
been done before.
It's true. I'm done with all the punishing shit.
Forever.
I mean, I feel like I've been, more on the sub end in that way always. Like I'm not a punisher.
Right.
You know me. Remember when we were kids and we get in fights? Yeah. It was usually me groveling back like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Because I was like, attachment.
Reattach to me. Come back.
Yeah. I'm sorry I wiped so many boogers on you. Please.
It's okay, Teresa. I'm over it.
Good.
I love you and not your boogers, though.
It's a package deal.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. It's hard. Like I look at myself during conflict and I still want to do some of the naughty things. And I know I have to not do them because it doesn't make me a better person.
Well, I think too, it does harken back. We're talking about like attachment. And so it's interrelated with attachment styles. And so, again, if you're anything but secure, then you're under the anxious umbrella, even if you're avoidant or insecure. You're under that umbrella. And so, the big difference is that secure people, they were unfucked up enough that they were taught that they are valuable. They were given a sense of self-worth and taught that it's okay because you have a sense of self-worth, because you're worthy, you can express your needs and desires and feelings and not go through these covert manipulations. But that's why we learn these covert manipulations, is we don't feel like we're worthy enough to just come out with our feelings and have our desires and needs. We learn to get our desires and needs met in covert ways.
Right.
And so that's part of this healing process is
Yes.
learning how to just say how you feel and give other people the information that they need, to be able to treat you like you want to be treated. And if they're not willing or able to do that, then sometimes that's the scary part of expressing our feelings and needs is that we're giving them the opportunity to weed our garden for us. We always want to stay in control and be able to weed it ourselves. But sometimes when you put your feelings and needs out there and someone will be like, I want nothing to do with all that shit.
Yeah. That's too many weeds for me. Yeah.
Yeah. They end up leaving our garden, but that's for the better good of both of us.
Yeah.
If our needs and values aren't compatible, if we're not.
Yep. Even
parallel.
if it's painful at the time, sometimes that's what needs to happen.
So
good news is you can learn secure attachment. It just takes a lot of practice. Let's see. I'm trying to think of, Polysecure does have a whole section on that, like how, and I'm sure there are many books about just, attachment styles, how to gain secure attachment. But you can learn it.
Yeah.
And you can teach your partners what you need.
You know what I've been working on lately too, that I'm finding really exciting and effective is just becoming very aware. I think that we're taught to, again, if you don't get that sense of self-worth and security, part of the woundedness of being anxious is oftentimes looking for it outside of yourself.
Absolutely.
And I've definitely found that since I've really hit a wall with all right, no more serial monogamy. And I've had some, crawling through the desert of oh God, am I ever going to get laid again?
Yeah.
But then being able to, and if you're going to do solo poly where you're your own primary partner, which, I don't know, I don't like identifying as anything, but I just am really putting a lot of energy into noticing my impulses and needs to have attachment.
Totally.
And beginning to really reassure myself that that's not what you really need. That sounds good and it sounds like immediate gratification to have the reflection that someone else wants me, needs me, wants my attention. But what I really need to do is just be aware of that, accept it and be like, I'm okay. I'm okay with, I was partying a lot this weekend, going to a lot of parties. I don't mean I was fucking mainlining heroin and, as
vodka
people
bottle
boofing meth up my bunghole or anything like that. But yeah, just noticing and then just also, reminding myself all of the attachments I have.
Yeah.
Instead of wanting the attention of just one person, just to actually remember to intentionally bond with other people so you don't get obsessed and codependent with one person.
Right. Because it feels so good. Like that new relationship energy or just that excitement in the beginning of a relationship is such a powerful drug that it's really hard not to just get totally sucked into it and be like, this is what I want. It's like the rat pressing the
totally
button for cocaine over and over again. So
dick, pressing the dick button.
Give me dick.
More dick.
Yeah, totally. Oh my God, we're out of time.
Oh, look at that.
We did it. Wow.
Whoa.
What? So, okay. Press the subscribe button if you're on YouTube.
And the dick button.
Yeah, and press the dick button and the clip button and the subscribe button.
Yeah.
And find us on, God, my nose is so itchy. It's like tree season here. So I'm
Patreon. Patronize us on Patreon.
Yeah.
Give donations. If you listen to the show from time to time, think about chucking a buck. Chuck a buck at some bitches. Help us, pay for it. And every dollar does count. A lot of times people don't do that stuff because they think I don't want to look like a cheap ass and only give $1. Give $1.
Yeah.
If everyone gave $1, dude,
we'd have $5.
We'd have $5 fucking dollars.
That we don't have right now. Yeah. And so, subscribe, follow us. Thank you for listening.
Is your PayPal? Did you put your PayPal in the link? Holy shit, we got to do that. All right, we're going to do that by the next episode.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Before he even releases this, I said release. then just put it in there. You can create a new one that's like, was that an orgy at PayPal?
Oh my
You know?
God. Yeah, it's a great idea. Oh my God, let's do that.
So,
yeah.
yeah.
So you're a cunt. I'm a cunt.
We're such
Everyone's
cunts.
a cunt because we're going to see you next Tuesday.
Yeah, see you next Tuesday.
Bye.
Mwah,
Bye.
mwah. See you next Tuesday.
And now I'm
See you next
Eager beaver, baby. Eager beaver, baby. Eager beaver, baby. Eager beaver, baby. Well, what are you gonna do with this eager beaver, baby of mine? Ooh, I'm always there beside you, no matter where you stop. I'll follow you to movies, even to the barber shop.